Everyone, this is the Liberta Explorer rat cage review. I've had this cage for 15 days now and I'm loving it so far. I've picked up a few pros and a few cons that I'd like to share with you if anyone is interested in buying this cage, as before I bought the cage I was looking on reviews and they helped me out a lot. So again, this is my personal opinion. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying, but this is just my experience with the cage and what I'd like to share with you. Let's start off with the pros of the cage. The first pro I'd like to share with you is the size of the cage. The cage is massive. A lot of people say it can fit up to 12 rats, but I would say 10 rats just to ensure that your rats have enough space. So 10 rats is an ideal amount for this cage, and obviously I only have 3 rats, so yeah, the size of the cage is absolutely brilliant. You've got plenty of room for toys, you've got plenty of room to get in for cleaning and things like that. And also plenty of room for your rats to sleep and play and run around in. Access is also brilliant. Open the whole way. So now you're left with a huge space to get in for cleaning and also to tame and bond with your rats even faster. That's another great feature of the cage that I think is a really big pro for me. The doors are absolutely amazing. Also, the bars are really thin to allow for any really thin clips on toys or even on water bottles that I think a lot of people, obviously you'd want to hang toys and things from the cage. And also the bar spacing is very small, so you don't have to have any nasty mesh on there to cut your hands or anything like that, or even the rat's feet. So that's another great pro of the cage. The great pro of the cage is the lock. Rats may be very clever, but I doubt they'll ever be able to work this out, as you have to slide it across, up and down. Escape-proof quality of the cage is the little latch at the top. As if it wasn't there, the doors would move forward and you would have a huge gap at the bottom and also the top, and your rats could easily get out of this. The great pro of the cage is that you get another level within the whole tier for, again, more space for your rats to play and sleep on, and also have toys on there. So, if your rats ever had a fight, you can also separate the cages. See, from the top of the cage, it's barred, so you can easily hang any toys from there, or hammocks, or any sleeping areas, for more enrichment for your rats, which I'm sure they'll love. The cage comes with a spare wired top, which doesn't have a hole in the side cut out for the bottom levels. This is so that if your rats ever did have a fight, you can easily take off the bolts and replace this grid with the full grid. The great pro for me would be cleaning. In my old cage, the Liberta Discoverer, cleaning usually took me about 2 hours. Whereas in this cage, a full cage clean out usually takes me an hour to an hour and 15 minutes to fully wash all the bars with a baby wipe and then shower down each level and put new fleece on and put all the toys back in. The amazing feature about the cage is that it has a stand on the bottom to allow for storage to put food and or spare toys underneath. And also underneath the bottom of the cage is also wired so any spare hanging toys you can just pop under there. It also consists of caster wheels for easy movement. You can also lock them. It's a very strong build. If it's been built properly, it will never collapse. Trust me. Easy, strong build to hold all your retties and all their toys, as it's strong hammered metal. Will probably disagree with me when I say that the plastic level is easy to dry, even though most people say it's quite a smudgy, hard to dry material. But in my opinion, I think it dries pretty quickly with a towel. To move on to the cons of the cage. Con for me is the building process. It took me and my dad roughly 2.5 hours to fully build the cage. And the instructions that you get with the cage are not very clear at all. Massive health and safety con for me would be the bolts. They are very sharp. Any rat can catch themselves on it, and I've also cut myself a few times, if you can see that. And also, there, I've cut myself quite a lot of times with the bolts on this cage, and it is very dangerous to say that animals live in the cage. And for most people would be the price of the cage, as the cage costs me £172.99 plus £8 postage from Cages World. That was the cheapest I could find it at that moment in time. However, it took me some saving up. However, as well, the price of the cage is also good value for money, but on the door it is quite expensive. Huge con for me would be how shallow the levels are. This means no bedding can be put in without being flown out of the cage by the rats. There should be some metal grids going along the sides. If you've seen the Savic Suite Royale or Royal, you would know they have come up with a solution of putting plastic grates along the sides so no bedding can escape. However, luckily I was going to put fleece in the cage anyway, but for most people that is a huge con that Liberta could improve on. Con for people who have rats in where they sleep is that the doors rattle, as you can hear. It's very loud when the rats climb on it and run around in the cage. I'm sure if they put another latch on this door, or even if someone did this would improve it slightly. But still, there is still a rattling sound. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped a lot of people out there that have been looking to buy this cage, or even just wanted to know about the cage for future interests. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.